A week ago, right after the coronavirus scare was in basically full swing and the Costco shelves were empty of a lot of products, including toilet paper and paper towels, I hopped on a plane and headed east. The freeway's pretty dead. Costco is being bought out across the Seattle area. You have half your students pretty much all week because parents are pulling their kids out of class, and people are being encouraged to stay home by their employers. But today, I'm gonna catch a flight out of SeaTac. Now, when I went to the airport, I thought I'm gonna see a mostly empty airport. People aren't gonna want to be flying. The people that are there, I'm expecting to see a lot of masks, etc. I'm probably just gonna blow through security, but I'm also very curious to see what the airport is gonna look like under these conditions. Yeah, I'm very curious to see how it's going to be. When I showed up, it was not what I expected. I counted 5 people wearing masks, and I stood in line for security for a half an hour. Not the shortest, not the longest. So, not quite what I was expecting. So my flight was, for the most part, uneventful. I got to my destination, touchdown, no problem. But flying back, my flight was almost completely empty. It was probably less than a third full coming back to Seattle, which kind of confirmed what I was thinking, is that people aren't trying to come to Seattle, they're trying to leave Seattle, which is why the airport was so busy when I was leaving, but much less so on the return journey, and the return journey flight was much less full. Things only escalated from there. This past week, there was a spike. The governor made some announcements. Schools closed for at first 2 weeks and then 6 weeks. Wifey is now in one of those impacted schools where she's going to be teaching online, most likely for the next 6 weeks. Certain details are going to be worked out as they go, so it's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out. And not only that, we're starting to see reports trickle in over this past week of airplanes flying ghost flights. Airplanes that are entirely empty, they're just flying them to ports in Europe or airports in Europe to keep slots of important routes so that way they don't lose them. Now, the FAA has taken steps to suspend temporarily these measures in order to allow airplanes to not waste money flying these ghost flights, these mostly empty flights. And these are taking effect until the 31st of March. In the middle of all of this, a couple of my siblings flew into town, and at first, one of their flights got canceled and they had to reschedule to a later flight. Then for their return journey, with the escalations that were taking place, Wifey thought that it would be best if they moved their flights up and flew out early, especially with a lot of rumors flying around of travel bans and restrictions in and out of highly impacted states like Washington. They moved up their flights, flew out a day early, and they did report much lower airport attendance and mostly empty flights as they flew back home. On top of all of that, once again, we saw a spike in toilet paper sales. Costco has been out for a while now. The local grocery store down the street had toilet paper. We went in there Friday afternoon, right after those announcements by the governor, and Wifey was sent home for 6 weeks, and the local grocery store was out of toilet paper and paper towels. We went to the next store over and we got three rolls of toilet paper. Not that we were trying to stock up per se, we just happened to be running tight at this moment in time. While all the schools were shutting down, one of the things that I mentioned to Wifey is that I'm like, I bet you church is going to move completely online. We're at a video campus right now, and our church has a main campus where people gather, but our campus, we gather in a movie theater and we watch the sermon on the big screen. It's pretty awesome. We love it. We have the most comfy chairs in the nicest screen, but they're shutting all that down. We're not meeting at the movie theater. The main campus isn't meeting in their building. We're all just watching the sermon online. The pastor is on stage preaching either to a camera or just to staff. Now, we went to a viewing party. We had a great time at the viewing party. It was awesome, but we're not going to church normally, and it's not going to return to normal for a few weeks. Wifey and I aren't worried about ourselves. We're young, we're healthy. We're confident that we'll be fine even if we are exposed to the virus. However, we do know individuals that have compromised immune systems and are in the high-risk category. And those are the people that we are concerned about and we're really hoping are okay. In the meantime, stay safe out there, y'all. Prepared, don't panic, as they say. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time when I show you my first time trying to slackline and I get schooled. Stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching. Peace out. Bye. I found more.